हे अनंत दिव्य पुरुष सकल कलुष हारी, कोटि कोटि कंठ करे वंदना वंदना तुम्हारी। दिव्य पुरुष सकल कलुष हारी, कोटि कोटि कंठ करे वंदना तुम्हारी। हे अनंत दिव्य पुरुष सकल कलुष हारी, कोटि कोटि कंठ करे वंदना तुम्हारी, वंदना तुम्हारी। तुम पुराण पुरुष हिंदू तव निकेत सप्त सिंधु। तुम पुराण पुरुष हिंदू तव निकेत सप्त सिंधु। भरत खंड मान बिंदु अमित शक्तिधारी। भरत खंड मान बिंदु अमित शक्तिधारी। हे अनंत दिव्य पुरुष सकल कलुष हारी, कोटि कोटि कंठ करे वंदना तुम्हारी, वंदना तुम्हारी।
ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरविंदाय। ओम आनंदमयी चैतन्यमयी सत्यमयी परमे। Savitri, Book 7, The Book of Yoga, Canto 4, The Triple Soul Forces. The voice rose up and smote some inner sun. I am the heir of the forces of the earth. Slowly I make good my right to my estate, a growing Godhead in her divinized mud. I claim a claimant to the throne of heaven. The last born of the earth, I stand the first. Her slow millenniums waited for my birth. Although I live in time besieged by death, precarious owner of my body and soul, housed on a little speck amid the stars, for me and my use the universe was made. Immortal spirit in the perishing clay, I am God, still unevolved in human form. Even if he is not, he becomes in me.
The sun and moon are lights upon my path. Air was invented for my lungs to breathe, conditioned as a wide and wall-less space. for my winged chariot's wheels to cleave a road. The sea was made for me to swim and sail, and bear my golden commerce on its back. It laughs cloven by my pleasure's gliding keel. I laugh at its black stare of fate and death. The earth is my floor, the sky my living's roof.
All was prepared through many a silent age. God made experiments with animal shapes. Then only when all was ready I was born. I was born weak and small and ignorant, a helpless creature in a difficult world, traveling through my brief years with death at my side. I have grown greater than nature, wiser than God.
I have made a real what she never dreamed. I have seized her powers and harnessed for my work. I have shaped her metals and new metals made. I will make glass and raiment out of milk, make iron velvet, water unbreakable stone. Like God in his astuce of artist skill, mold from one primal plasm protein forms, in single nature multitudinous lives, all that imagination can conceive, in mind intangible remold anew, in matters plastic, solid and concrete.
No magic can surpass my magic's skill. There is no miracle I shall not achieve. What God imperfect left, I will complete. Out of a tangled mind and half-made soul, his sin and error I will eliminate. What he invented not, I shall invent. He was the first creator, I am the last.
I have found the atoms from which he built the worlds. The first tremendous cosmic energy mission shall leap to slay my enemy kin, expunge a nation, or abolish a race. Death's silence leave where there was laughter and joy. Or the fissured invisible shall spend God's force to extend my comforts and expand my wealth, to speed my car which now the lightnings drive, and turn the engines of my miracles.
I will take his means of sorcery from his hands, and do with them greater wonders than is best. Yet through it all I have kept my balanced thought. I have studied my being, I have examined the world. I have grown a master of the arts of my life. I have tamed the wild beast, trained to be my friend. He guards my house, looks up waiting my will. I have taught my kind to serve and to obey.
I have used the mystery of the cosmic waves to see far distance and to hear far words. I have conquered space and knitted close all earth. Soon I shall know the secrets of the mind. I play with knowledge and with ignorance, and sin and virtue my inventions are. I can transcend or sovereignly use. I shall know mystic truths, seize occult powers.
I shall slay my enemies with a look or thought. I shall sense the unspoken feelings of all hearts, and see and hear the hidden thoughts of men. When earth is mastered, I shall conquer heaven. The gods shall be my aids or menial folk. No wish I harbor unfulfilled shall die. Omnipotence and omniscience shall be mine.
And Savitri heard the voice, the warped echo heard. and turning to her being of power, she spoke, Madonna of might, Mother of works and force, thou art a portion of my soul, footboard, to help mankind and help the travel of time, because thou art in him, man hopes and dares. Because thou art, man's souls can climb the heavens and walk like gods in the presence of the Supreme.
But without wisdom, power is like a wind. It can breathe upon the heights and kiss the sky. It cannot build the extreme eternal things. Thou hast given men strength, wisdom, thou couldst not give. One day I will return, a bringer of light. Then will I give to thee the mirror of God. Thou shalt see self and world as by him they are seen, reflected in the bright pool of the soul.
Thy wisdom shall be vast as thy power. Then hate shall dwell no more in human hearts, and fear and weakness shall desert men's lives. The cry of the ego shall be hushed within. Its lion roar that claims the world as food. All shall be might and bliss and happy foes.
Ascending still a spirit's upward route, she came into a high and happy space, a white tower of vision whence all could be seen, and all was centered in a single view, as when by distance separate scenes grow one, and a harmony is made of hues at war. The void was still, and fragrance packed the air.
There was a carol of birds and murmur of bees, and all that is common and natural and sweet, yet intimately divine to heart and soul. A nearness thrilled of the spirit to its source, and deepest things seemed obvious, close and true. Here, living center of that vision of peace, a woman sat in clear and crystal light. Heaven had unveiled its lustre in her eyes. Her feet were moonbeams. Her face was a bright sun. Her smile could persuade a dead lacerated heart to live again and feel the hands of calm.
A low music heard became her floating voice. O Savitri, I am thy secret soul. I have come down to the wounded, desolate earth to heal her pangs and lull her heart to rest and lay her head upon the mother's lap, that she may dream of God and know his peace and draw the harmony of higher spheres into the rhythm of earth's rude, troubled days. I show to her the figures of bright gods and bring strength and solace to her struggling life. High things that now are only words and forms, I reveal to her in the body of their power.
I am peace that steals into man's war-worn breast. Amid the rain of hell, his acts create a hostel where heaven's messengers can lodge. I am charity with the kindly hands that bless. I am silence mid the noisy tramp of life. I am knowledge pouring on her cosmic map.
In the anomalies of the human heart, where good and evil are close bedfellows, and light is by darkness darkened at every step, where his largest knowledge is an ignorance, I am the power that labors towards the best, and works for God, and looks up towards the heights.
I make even sin and error stepping stones, and all experience a long march towards light. Out of the inconscient I build consciousness and lead through death to reach immortal life. Many are God's forms by which He grows in man. They stamp His thoughts and deeds with divinity, uplift the stature of the human clay, or slowly transmute it into heaven's gold.
He is the good for which man fight and die. He is the war of right with titan wrong. He is freedom rising deathless from her pyre. He is valor guarding still the desperate pass, or lone and erect on the shattered barricade, or a sentinel in the dangerous echoing night.
He is the crown of the martyr burned in flame, and the glad resignation of the saint, and courage indifferent to the wounds of time, and the hero's might wrestling with death and fate. He is wisdom incarnate on a glorious throne, and the calm autocracy of the sage's rule. He is the high and solitary thought, aloof above the ignorant multitude. He is the prophet's voice, the sight of the sea.
His beauty, nectar of the passionate soul. He is the truth by which the spirit lives. He is the riches of the spiritual vast, poured out in healing streams on indigent life. He is eternity lured from hour to hour. He is infinity in a little space. He is immortality in the arms of death. These powers I am, and at my call they come.
Thus slowly I lift man's soul nearer the light. But human mind clings to its ignorance, unto its littleness the human heart, unto its right to grieve the earthly life. Only when eternity takes time by the hand, only when infinity weds the finite thought, can man be free from himself and live with God.
I bring meanwhile the gods upon the earth. I bring back hope to the despairing heart. I give peace to the humble and the great, and shed my grace on the foolish and the wise.
I shall save earth if earth consents to be saved. Then love shall at last unwounded tread earth's soil. Man's mind shall admit the sovereignty of truth, and body bear the immense descent of God. She spoke, and from the ignorant nether plain a cry, a warped echo, naked and shuddering, came.
A voice of sense-shackled human mind carried its proud complaint of godlike power, hedged by the limits of a mortal's thoughts, bound in the chains of earthly ignorance.
Imprisoned in his body and his brain, the mortal cannot see God's mighty whole, or share in his vast and deep identity, who stands unguessed within our ignorant hearts and knows all things because he is one with all. Man only sees the cosmic surfaces.
Then, wondering what may lie hid from the sense,
a little way he delves to depths below, but soon he stops. He cannot reach life's core or commune with the throbbing heart of things. he sees the naked body of the truth, though often baffled by her endless scars, but cannot look upon her soul within.
Then, furious for a knowledge absolute, he tears all details out and straps and digs. Only the shape's contents he holds for use. The spirit escapes or dies beneath his knife. He sees as a blank stretch a giant waste, the crowding riches of infinity.
The finite he has made his central field. Its plan dissects, master its processes. That which moves, all is hidden from his gaze. His poring eyes miss the unseen behind. He has the blind man's subtle, unerring touch, or the slow traveler's sight of distant scenes. The soul's revealing contacts are not his.
Yet is he visited by intuitive light, and inspiration comes from the unknown. But only reason and sense he feels as sure. They only are his trusted witnesses. Thus is he balked, his splendid effort vain. His knowledge scans bright pebbles on the shore of the huge ocean of his ignorance.
Yet grandiose were the accents of that cry. A cosmic pathos trembled in its tone. I am the mind of God's great ignorant world, ascending to knowledge by the steps he made. I am the all-discovering thought of man. I am a God fettered by matter and sense, an animal present in a fence of thorns, a beast of labor asking for his food, a smith tied to his anvil and his forge.
Yet have I loosened the cord, enlarged my room. I have mapped the heavens and analyzed the stars, described their orbits through the grooves of space, measured the miles that separate the suns, computed their longevity in time. I have dwelt into earth's bowels and torn out the riches guarded by a dull brown soil.
I have classed the changes of a stony crust, and of a biography discovered the dates, rescued the pages of all nature's plan. The tree of evolution I have sketched, each branch and twig and leaf in its own place. In the embryo tracked the history of forms, and the genealogy framed of all that lives.
I have detected plasm and cell and gene.
The protozoa traced man's ancestors, the humble originals from whom he rose. I know how he was born and how he dies, only what end he serves I know not yet, or if there is an aim at all, or any end, or push of rich creative purposeful joy in the wide works of the terrestrial power.
I have caught her intricate processes. None is left. Her huge machinery is in my hands. I have seized the cosmic energies for my use. I have poured on her infinitesimal elements, and her invisible atoms have unmasked. All matter is a book I have perused. Only some pages now are left to read.
I have seen the ways of life, the paths of mind.
I have studied the methods of the ant and ape, and the behavior learned of man and worm. If God is at work, His secrets I have found, but still the cause of things is left in doubt. The truth flees from pursuit into a void. When all has been explained, nothing is known. What chose the process? Whence power sprang, I know not, and perhaps shall never know.
A mystery is this mighty nature's birth. A mystery is the elusive stream of mind. A mystery, the protean freak of life. What I have learned, chance leaps to contradict. What I have built is seized and torn by fate. I can foresee the acts of matter's force, but not the march of the destiny of man. He is driven upon paths he did not choose. He falls trampled underneath the rolling wheels.
My great philosophies are a recent guess. The mystic heavens that claim the human soul are a charlatanism of the imagining brain. All is a speculation or a dream. In the end, the world itself becomes a doubt. The infinitesimals just mocks mass and shape. A laugh peals from the infinite's finite mask. Perhaps the world is an error of our sight, a trick repeated in each flash of sense. An unreal mind hallucinates the soul with a stress vision of false reality, or a dance of Maya veils the void unborn.
Even if a greater consciousness I could reach, what profit is it then for thought to win a real which is forever ineffable, or hunt to its lair the bodiless self, or make the unknowable the target of the soul? Nay, let me work within my mortal bounds, not live beyond life, nor think beyond the mind. Our smallness saves us from the infinite. In a frozen grandeur, lone and desolate, call me not to die the great eternal death, left naked of my own humanity in the chill vast of the spirit's boundlessness.
Each creature by its nature's limits lives, and how can one evade his native fate? Human I am, human let me remain, till in the inconscient I fall dumb and sleep. A high insanity, a chimera is this, to think that God lives hidden in the clay, and that eternal truth can dwell in time, and call to her to save ourself and world. How can man grow immortal and divine, transmuting the very stuff of which he is made? This wizard gods may dream, not thinking men.
And Savitri heard the voice, the warped answer heard. And turning to her being of light, she spoke, Madonna of light, mother of joy and peace, thou art a portion of my self put forth, to raise the spirit to its forgotten heights, and wake the soul by touches of the heavens. Because thou art, the soul draws near to God. Because thou art, love grows in spite of hate, and knowledge walks unslain in the pit of night.
But not by showering heaven's golden rain upon the intellect's hard and rocky soil can the tree of paradise flower on earthly ground, and the bird of paradise sit upon life's boughs, and the winds of paradise visit mortal air. Even if thou rain down intuition's rays, the mind of man will think it earth's own gleam, his spirit by spiritual ego sink, or his soul dream shut in sainthood's brilliant cell, where only a bright shadow of God can come. His hunger for the eternal thou must nurse, and fill his yearning heart with heaven's fire, and bring God down into his body and life. One day I will return, his hand in mine, and thou shalt see the face of the Absolute. Then shall the holy marriage be achieved. Then shall the divine family be born. There shall be light and peace in all the worlds. End of Canto 4, Book 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arvindaya.
உலகெல்லாம் உன் நாமமே ஓதும் வேதமாகுமே, மனமெல்லாம் உன் ஞானமே நிலைக்கும் நாளுமே. அருளைத்தா ஸ்ரீ அரவிந்தா, அன்பைத்தா உந்தன் அறிவைத்தா, காலந்தோறும் உலகெல்லாம் உன் நாமமே ஓதும் வேதமாகுமே, மனமெல்லாம் உன் ஞானமே நிலைக்கும் நாளுமே. யோகம் ஞானந்தரும் ஞானக்கடல்தனில் தாழ்பணிந்தேன், கத்தும் கடலலை கொட்டும் அருள்தனில் நான் கரைந்தேன். ஓங்கும் மாதவனின் ஞான பார்வைதனில் நான் தெளிந்தேன். மோகம் முதலில்லை யோகம் வாழ்வின் எல்லை நான் அறிந்தேன். ஏழிசை நாதமாய் வாழும் ஜீவனே, என் மனம் நாடுமே உந்தன் பாதமே. நாமமே என் நாளுமே கீதமாகுமே. உலகெல்லாம் நாமமே ஓதும் வேதமாகுமே, மனமெல்லாம் ஞானமே நிலைக்கும் நாளுமே. ஞானத்தவநிதி நாளும் அருள்வாயும் என் குருவே, முந்தியழை கையில் முக்தி தந்தருளும் என் தவமே. யோகம் நிறைந்திட ஞானம் பிறந்திடும் உன் செயலே, தெய்வ பேரொளி தூய வாய்மொழி உன் உறவே. பனிமலர் பூம்பாதங்கள் நாளும் போற்றவே, நின் திருவருள் பூஞ்சோலையின் பூக்கள் ஏங்குமே. நினைவெல்லாம் நின் பாதமே நாளும் தஞ்சமே. உலகெல்லாம் நாமமே ஓதும் வேதமாகுமே, மனமெல்லாம் ஞானமே நிலைக்கும் நாளுமே. அருளைத்தா ஸ்ரீ அரவிந்தா, அன்பைத்தா உந்தன் அறிவைத்தா, காலந்தோறும் உலகெல்லாம் நாமமே போதும்